We are going to take some time and go through our business process, exactly how we at IBC Global can work with potentially you, someone interested in a high cash value life insurance policy. This will kind of set the ground as far as what to expect, how we set everything up, how we work with you indefinitely. This way there's no questions, which we want to know everything up front. So let's begin. We've got three primary steps. The first one, step one, maximize cash value. Now I could put education here as well, but really what our company focuses on, our mission statement is to provide transparency and convenience in the life insurance industry, specifically around this topic, cash value life insurance. So the question we always get from individuals is, hey, how do I maximize the cash value of my life insurance policy? Short term, long term, I don't want to trigger a MEC, a taxable event, all that good stuff. So there's a lot that goes into it. So the simple step is we're going to show you how to maximize cash value. Now here's the key, and this is where a ton of education comes in up front and then also ongoing. Show options. You've got to show options. Think of it this way, especially if you've bought a whole life insurance product. If you were ever sold on it, looked great, hey, I'm going to go with this for whatever my goals are, it's a fit for my financial situation, and I purchase a policy and then find out at some point down the road, some point in time later, man, I could have got a better option. Why was I not shown this option up front? Maybe the agent didn't know, he didn't show me it, whatever it might be. So showing options helps prevent that up front. Think of it like if you could see every product and design available on Amazon, well, we'd see everything up front. So, showing options. What does that entail? Let me get out of the way here. Companies. So many different life insurance companies. Some are more flexible than others. Some have a variety of products where some only have a few products. Knowing that up front, seeing what fits is very important. Different products available, different ways to design the policy. How often do we talk about policy design? In almost all of our videos. Right? Money can go where? Toward the premium or PUA component. Here's how to maximize the cash value up front, long term, making it very flexible. Maybe I want the ability to pay in $100,000, but I only want to commit to $10,000 or $15,000 per year, so I don't get a huge $100,000 bill every year. A lot that goes into it. My point being is understanding the design, the flexibility is important for the consumer. This way, there's no buyer's remorse after the fact. This stuff I love, and this comes from my corporate days when we design policies for corporations, looking at the guaranteed values. In an absolute worst case scenario, what does my cash value look like with different companies? What does the current values, the non-guaranteed values look like based off the present dividend rate? You can run conservative dividend assumptions, all that good stuff, but then the most important, actual performance. What has actually happened? Because the life insurance industry, so often individuals purchase off of illustrations. I buy a policy, I think that it's going to produce X based off of that projection, and it doesn't happen. Things change, dividends go up and down, there's other factors that impact the policy performance that are important to be aware of, but actual performance, what companies, products, designs have consistently delivered the strongest cash value and death benefits to consumers. Not projected, but delivered. That kind of stuff is good to know up front because it prevents that buyer's remorse from occurring. A lot of information here. 2, see the policy in action. So, first thing, and if you've spoken with me or if you've worked with me in the beginning or the early stages of your policy design or the process, call it, you've likely heard me say, the first thing we'll do before we look at any strategies as far as using the policy is how to maximize the cash value. Because if you have as much money as possible in that product, what does that do? If you just let it sit and grow, I've got more money. If I decide to use it, I've got more capital to work with. That's what we're looking at there. How do I optimize that first to put me in the best possible position to go at full speed? Then, step 2, policy in action. So, showing demonstrations. This typically revolves around loans. When I take a policy loan, what is the impact that it has on my cash value, on my death benefit? There's loan interest. If I borrow from the policy, it's a loan. I hear the word loan, what typically comes to mind? payments and interest. But then we hear with life insurance, loan repayments are not always required. All right, how does that work? So education on that, and that's often items that we'll always forecast. You know, one thing I like to do when we look at policy loans is if I've got $100,000 in cash value and I borrow out $30,000 maybe to purchase a car, whatever it might be, what does my policy look like if I pay that $30,000 back? What's it look like if I only pay the interest? What's it look like if I never pay it back? Maybe life happens and maybe I stop paying premiums too. What is the worst case scenario? This way I see it up front. I can see the demonstration in action as opposed to finding out about it after the fact, where now I'm like, bummer. I wish I would have known that. Steve, why didn't you tell me that? We don't want that. So with loans, payments, repayments, no repayments, interest rates. How does loan interest work? We've got a ton of content on that. But what are the different interest rates? Retirement income. This one's huge. You know, life insurance forever, cash value life insurance, has been used as a retirement supplement. Forever, you've seen individuals build up these big buckets of money in cash value life insurance and then turn around and take an income distribution from it. Tax-free income if I structure it properly. Now I can mess it up and it's not tax-free. That's why we'll also educate around what can potentially trigger a taxable event. That comes up in the education process. But point being, there's an option there. Now, what I'll say on this before we get to step 3 is this is a lot of information. And there's a couple ways to take it in. One, you can talk to us. You can talk to an agent that's well-versed in all of this. Take in the information, have discussions back and forth, questions and answers. And our office is equipped for that, and many offices and agents in the country are equipped for that. If you are used to purchasing on Amazon, for example, like me, and you might not necessarily want to talk to someone right away, hey, can I just see it? Can I understand it? I don't want to have to talk to someone because they might try and sell me on a certain option or sway me in a certain direction. Can I see it first? The answer is yes. So we put a ton of videos and different programs together to help provide that education up front in the event I want to see it up front. And then once I see some different options, now how does it apply to my personal situation? Maybe we show different numbers first, go through them, provide a demonstration, whether that's live or it's a recorded one, whatever it might be. Going back to transparency and convenience, got to make it transparent with all the details, but then also have to make it convenient. So it's kind of that, I call it balance there, but you've got to cover both, because as a consumer, you may want to talk to us and you may want to go into full detail. You might not. Hey, I'm busy. I got a ton of things to do. I'm interested in this, but give me the 5-minute pitch. Do you want to hear me say, well, I can't do it in 5 minutes? Then you're going to say, all right, see you later. Or would you rather hear me say, okay, here are the best options. We'll certainly provide education along the way. We'll steer you in the proper direction. But again, we're going to show you everything. This way, you see it up front, you can use it to the fullest degree, and there's no buyer's remorse. But yeah, certainly, I'll respect your time. Got to make it convenient. Let's get into the third step, because this one is really where I've learned a lot about the business as the years have passed, and where we've been able to innovate quite a bit, making things always convenient for the consumer. The transparency comes up front with all the details, which is fun. We've got a lot of content that goes into detail. But when it comes to customer service, here's a saying I like, and I've heard some businesses and business owners state this, that anytime there's a problem, that equals opportunity. Meaning, if you have a problem that pops up, how can you solve it? Us as a business, we can, one, solve the problem by addressing it personally. Hey, I know how to address this. Let me solve it. I can get in the phone. I can dig into the product and fix it. And I can do that every single time, but as you acquire a larger customer base, that becomes more and more challenging. Or you can solve it one time, record how you solved it, written, video, however it might be, train others, have them record the same thing, duplicate yourself, quickly grow, and this way you all become proficient problem solvers. You've got to do that. It cannot be a one-man show, otherwise you're going to hit a level where you cannot expand anymore. It becomes very, very difficult to do that. So whenever there's a problem, that is a huge opportunity to innovate and then also grow the company. There's probably more, but those are the two things that come to my mind right off the bat. With customer service, so our process specifically here provides updates on your policy, updates on the industry, review calls and meetings. We have a process that everyone we work with, that we've worked with for years, we reach out to you every 6 months for a review call or review meeting. We also provide an updated client audit report, an in-force illustration. This way we can track the performance, see the original projection, what was projected, what's actually happened, since we always talk about actual performance here. Very, very interesting to do that. This way we can see, is it performing like I anticipated? A little bit lower, closer to the guarantees, keeps our finger on the pulse of the insurance policy, the industry, all that good stuff. But very, very big on that. We've got other systems too that everyone we work with, programs that all of our clients, everyone who purchases a policy through us, has access to this. It's an exclusive client user package. Some of you, if you work with us, may have received yours already. If you have not, you can reach out, or when you receive your next review call or review meeting invite, that user package will be included. We've got a client relations department that assists with loans, policy changes, transactions, right? And I could say that the insurance companies have customer service departments. They do. But what we have found, and if you're an agent, you know this, is if you call up an insurance company's customer service department, you can get someone who is excellent on the phone, knows exactly what they're doing, and then you can get someone brand new that might struggle with giving the right answers, or maybe they're looking at an old manual. I've seen cases, I still see it, where companies have updated their loan interest rates, or one company specifically had an 8% loan interest rate at one point in time. They updated that in 2016 to 6%. All new policies have that. And a lot of times, individuals that we work with, new clients, policyholders, call up the company's customer service and state, what's my loan interest rate? 8%. No, it's not 8%, it's 6%. Point being, that causes alarm, panic, confusion. You've got to spend time, problem equals opportunity, create our own department to help provide better service. Very, very important to do that. This is really the ultimate way to grow the company. If you're running a business or in the industry, good to look into this. In our agent training program, we go into that kind of stuff during our mastermind calls. Very critical to do that. And then you also have an agent/specialist you work with, and that could be me, could be one of our many agents here. As we continue to expand, we do have a process, right? For those that are interested in working with us, there's a process to qualify in order to be able to work with our company as an agent. But my point being is, for you as the consumer, there's a lot of resources you'll have. Me, client relations, your direct agent. We try and make it a point always to get back to individuals. There have been times we've struggled as we were growing, but we quickly fixed that and are always aiming to fix it. Again, problem equals opportunity. The biggest issue that I have found at one point was turnaround time, because we got overwhelmed very quickly, which is good. I'm not complaining about it by any means, but I'm always used to getting things out to individuals very quickly, the same day if possible. Let me run the different numbers. Let me have a call with you right on the spot. As we grew, it was difficult to do that, even with agents and duplicating ourselves. But we grew faster, and we did what we needed to do to fix that situation in any event. So in any event, this is our process. Hopefully it provided some information, got a little bit about us, me, understanding our company, our philosophy on business. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out anytime, and we'll talk to you soon. Enjoy. Hey guys, Steve Parisi here. If you enjoyed the content you just saw, please subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell for future videos. If you'd like more information or to see some custom policies for yourself, feel free to call or email our offices at the contact information below.